Welcome back to Fear and Rambling. We are back with another one. This is day 2 of the 29-day challenge of creating a video every single day for the next 29 days. It's just a challenge that I want to incorporate in my life so I can get better and more comfortable in front of a camera and getting consistent with creativity and posting something every day and just exercising my creativity. It's something that I just want to do in general. It's something I want to get better at with YouTube and stuff. And, and creativity in general. But today I want to talk about something that's very important to me and something that centers me, and that is self-care. And it's been very difficult these last couple weeks, just making sure that I implement that in my life and that I make that a priority, because it often slips away in daily life when you're going through the motions of like work and stuff, and just the daily grind can bring you down, and you often forget about that, especially when it just feels like life is going by so fast. And that's how it has felt like for me for the last couple weeks, especially like looking for different positions out there, like job positions, and trying to find something that like suits where I am in my life and where I can increase the trajectory of my career and my creativity. Like, I would love to do this full time. Like, that's ultimately my goal, is to create content and start my own business. But I know it's going to take time, and this is part of that whole idea too. But before I get there, I want to find something that is in line with my goals and allows me to be more creative. And I have that now, but I'm looking for like other opportunities and putting yourself out there in that way and navigating how hard the job market is and how just oversaturated some positions are. Like, ideally for me, I'm looking for something remote. So there's like a lot of competition in that regard. So I want to make sure that I am treating myself kindly and taking the time to like really appreciate where I am in my life, where I'm going, and the things that I want to work on. And I just need to make sure that I take a step back and see that, and finding good ways to center myself. And that can be different for everyone. For me, for example, on my break at work, I like to take a walk outside. It's been getting a little bit warmer. It's kind of chilly today, but it was like perfect weather to just go out and take a walk. And I did that yesterday too. I did it for like 2 hours, I think, after work. And that's something that really just brings me back to like who I am, and it helps me think about like where I want to go next in my life. And some other things that I really like to do is to read, and this is something that I picked up recently. This is Robert Greene. He's one of my favorite authors, but he has a book called The Daily Laws, where each day he gives something to like really like think about each day. And that's something I want to start the day with and get into that habit. I haven't really got to there yet. On the weekends, it's easier to implement self-care habits because you're not tied to any schedule or anything like that. So I've been good on the weekends, but during the week is like when I fall off. And especially with like the job search stuff too, because it's very exhausting, mentally exhausting, because you put yourself out so much and often you don't get anything back, you don't get any feedback, and then the feedback you do get, it's like, oh, sorry, we moved on to other candidates, or like stuff like that. And I want to make sure that along with that I'm doing things that bring me back to center and are my self-care things that I've lost maybe in the last couple years that I want to implement back, or something that I lost recently that I want to bring back. But the job search has really like derailed my improvement that I've made for the last couple weeks. So in an effort to do so, I want to make sure that I implement that into my life. That is my goal. And that should be number one. That should be number one for everyone. Because I understand we have seasons in our life, but it's so important, it's so essential to make sure that we have something that brings us back to center, because life can get out of control, and we don't want to get burnt out. And if you've paid any attention to YouTube within the last couple months or so, you'll see that there are some big creators that are quitting the platform or like dialing back a lot, just because like they've been so overwhelmed or overcommitted to things. They have so much going on, and they have to get back to center. They like reach that burnout phase, which like you can do for a while, but at some point like you need to really take a step back. And I feel like that I'm in that phase of this whole like job thing, and I want to make sure before I would ever get to that point of like starting my own business, that I implement these sorts of habits now. And I hope to do, like, for you to do the same as well, because it's very important to have that in your life. So what are some things that I like to do that energize me, and hopefully that can give you some insight to what you can look for and what could possibly do that for you. So like mine's books. I love reading. I love writing. Writing is something I like to do as well. Those are things that bring me back to center. Like going for walks, as I mentioned. Exercising in general is always something for me that brings me back to center and just makes me feel good. It's just, you can't not do it because it's really good for you. Well, spending time with loved ones, that's essential. Hanging out with my girlfriend, hanging out with our cats, parents, hanging out with dogs, family, friends, like those things are essential as well. And even to find things too. Recently I got back into like video games. I got a Nintendo Switch, and that's something that brings me back to center too, which is something fun. And you shouldn't discount those sort of things that just like bring you back to like maybe your childhood. Unless you go like overboard, it's not as fun. Like if you just play video games for like 8 hours for like 2 days in a row, like is that really helping you? Maybe it is. Maybe it's something you needed. Maybe not. But speaking of keep us back to center, we have pets in our lives. They can help to do that for us. Because you can look at animals and you can see and appreciate them and enjoy their company, and also sort of envy the life that they have. Because Linus here doesn't think about going to work. He doesn't have to have a job. He just sleeps, he eats, he poops, and just enjoys attention. And I think that's something we should all look for. Or maybe not. Well, maybe attention. Maybe we need that sometimes. But yeah, just be okay with enjoying the moment. I guess that's probably the biggest thing that I would like to emphasize, is that just enjoy the process and have fun along the way, because we only live once, and it's important to make the most of it and to appreciate where we are, because at some point we're going to get to a point in our lives where the stress of the moment, I mean, there's always going to be stress, but the stress of, like, for example, for me, like finding a job that like really resonates with me, or like running my own business, at some point when that happens, because it will, when that happens, looking back to today and then saying to yourself, like, wow, like I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe where I came from. And I'm excited for what happens next. So please, if I leave you with this, on the second day, I'm going to cross it off right now. Ow. We're going to mark the second day of the challenge. We'll make it a little darker. There we go. Day 2. And so I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on day 3. And if there's anything that you like to share, you could leave it in the comments. You could subscribe to my newsletter too, which every Friday I have a newsletter I come out with. Also, Fear and Rambling, it's on Substack. I'll put the link in the comments or in the caption. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed your time here. Like and subscribe. Share if you'd like. Subscribe to the newsletter for more. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Remember, tomorrow and every day, it's important to have self-care habits in our life. No matter what, implement that. So thank you.